Hello everyone! This is Lupilis and welcome back to Planet Zoo. We are making a grizzly bear habitat today and I'm very happy with the results. Don't forget, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a little thumbs up down there. And if you also haven't yet and you did enjoy this video that much, why don't you give it a little subscribe button, a little push too, because that is very much appreciated as well. Any feedback on this habitat is welcome. I am always open to critiques. But yeah, let's get started. So obviously you can see I've already set up the pathway, and as you can see you can clearly make out where I want my viewing area. Now that's a little bit different to what I usually do. It's going to be like kind of a natural barrier. The bears that won't be able to climb up there. There's gonna be a little barrier going around where the path is, so you know, people, if they could, they won't jump into the bear enclosure, or at least it'll stop them from trying as much. Obviously, you don't want to jump in with a grizzly bear. They stand at 8 feet tall when they are on their back feet. When they stand on their back feet, that is insane. Yeah, you don't want to be dealing with those claws either, to be honest. They are very big animals. Even standing on all fours, they actually come to 3 to 4 feet in height on all fours. That is not standing. Standing 8 feet. So that, they are very big animals. So with the enclosure, I just kind of did like a basic concrete barrier around the back and sides. I just thought that it would just be simple, you know, but I also kind of wanted to have that viewing area, so it's a little bit different. You're just looking through the glass. It's a very open viewing area. And yeah, and as you can see right now, I am building a little cave for the bears. Now I was thinking of using rocks to make the cave, but I thought, why not use the terrain tool and use that to my advantage today? So I decided to go with that method. The terrain will be sorted out. Obviously they will not have this much soil in the end. I will fix that later on in the video. I wanted to have a little pool of water, not all the way around, because that would be silly, because they're in a forest environment most of the time. When it's actually time for the hunting, or when they're hungry, they do tend to go in the water and catch salmon. They go in the water and they wait for the salmon to jump up, and then they've got themselves a nice tasty little treat. But yeah, I didn't want to have too much water, but I wanted a little bit, just as a drinking source as well, generally. But as you can see, I have gone wild with the trees. I really wanted to have a lot of trees, just because I wanted to give it that more natural feel, like it's a natural habitat. It isn't pre-made. You can ignore the barrier around it. I know that kind of makes it a little bit more pre-made looking. But ultimately, the content, I feel like I've made it look as natural as I possibly can. Obviously, it's not perfect. I can always improve. Everyone can always improve in whatever they do. But I'm very happy with how this turns out. So with the bears, or rather with what I'm doing on the channel more so, I am planning on doing habitat builds a little bit more. Like, as I did in the beta, I did the lions, I did the tigers, I did the zebras, and I think there's a little bit of Nile monitors on there as well. If you want to check out those videos, feel free to do so. But kind of following on that pattern, that's the kind of direction I want to go while I practice my building. You might be able to see in the background, the staff facilities are pre-made blueprints, but further on at the beginning, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this video, but I have been practicing my building, and I am very bad at building buildings. So that is something I want to practice on before I actually go ahead and follow you guys. Well, you guys follow along in making a full zoo on the channel with all the nice necessities, all the nice photogenic buildings, you know, the stuff that you see Geekism make and stuff like that. I am not at that level quite yet, but I do like to think that I'm pretty decent at making habitats, at least in my opinion anyway. You might think differently. But yeah, I wanted to have the bears have a wild kind of habitat. So as you can see, I'm using a tree lowering it down right into the ground and creating more texture on the floor. Now, just to do this, you kind of just push it right down until you get the very top of the tree. And I like those big trees, the bigger trees, to use that because they got a lot of surface area at the top. Is that the right word? It's probably the right word. Words. But yeah, it kind of helps out in spreading out the foliage a bit more because some of the bushes are quite small, so that's a nice little handy tip for you because it does bring out more foliage across the floor, I find anyway. Another fun fact about grizzly bears: mating season lasts from late spring to early summer, but females actually become pregnant when they enter hibernation. It's a cool little fact for you. They usually give birth to 2 cubs a few months before the hibernation ends. By the way, yeah, you hear me sprouting facts. That's something that I'm going to be doing as well, because it's nice to, as well as playing this game, it's nice to learn, and I've been reading up on a couple of different things to do with grizzly bears, because I just feel like, because you're playing this game, you kind of want it to be a learning experience as well. You get to know the animal a little bit more. Oh yeah, and ignore the floaty poles there. I had no idea that they were floating when I was building this. You can probably see on the right there, that is floating, and I did not notice. I raised the ground later to fix that, because we do not like floating objects in this game. Floating objects, not realistic. Not realistic in real life, either. But yeah, I want to start bringing facts to you as well. Maybe things that you didn't know about the animals that I'm showcasing a habitat for. Just for another element to my videos, I suppose. So let me know if you kind of like that aspect as well. Because everyone could do with learning about animals a little bit more. Animals are amazing. And I love to learn about my favourite animals a little bit more. You know? As well as climbing in the trees, with this climbing frame, I wanted them to have enough vantage point so that they could go up there and enjoy themselves up on the platform. As well as that being a nice viewing point for the guests to see, because they're right there and the platform is right there. Obviously, it's a very, like, if you were going to a zoo and you saw this and you saw the bears climbing all over it, then you would be in awe, wouldn't you? It would just be such a close-up sight of them, seeing how they climb, how they maneuver their bodies against the poles to actually make their body climb up, if you know what I mean, is just a really nice thing to see. You'll be able to see that they actually do climb some of these trees as well. They can't climb them all. I think there's only certain trees in the game where animals can climb, but seeing them up in the tree is quite fun, because they're on one of the biggest branches. You'll see it a bit later. But they just look like they're really happy up in that tree. Alright, so now I believe we are moving on to the terrain. So let's see about that. We didn't want to have all soil everywhere, and for the little cliff edge I decided to do a little bit of like a stone texture. I didn't want to pile it around with rocks, but now looking back on it, it is a bit jaggedy, so maybe a few rocks wouldn't have been so bad, but I could always add that later on. It's fine. Learn from me, people. Learn from me. Add rocks to the jagged edges. It'll probably look nicer. Their cave, I was wondering like how to do the stone inside, because I realised as I was doing the stone inside, it actually continues onto the top of the cave. So inside will replicate on top, so I tried to cover that up with a little bit of soil so it didn't look so rocky on top. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the results. I'm pretty happy with the results, to be honest, and I think the bears are too. And here they are. They are enjoying every part of this habitat. They're using the cave, they're going up in the trees. They're just fully enjoying themselves. Look how happy he is right there. Oh, he's so beautiful. So happy with how they use the trees as well. The way they climb down is amazing. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments, because I always love reading what you guys think of these habitats. I appreciate all critiques, feedback, all that good stuff. So yeah, and don't forget, I will be making more Planet Zoo content in the future, so if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share this video, I'd really appreciate that too. And I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.